Welcome to the Board Business Channel. We're going to be talking about a company you might not have heard of, but one that's super important to the tech we all use.
Yeah, it's Gudeng Precision Industrial.
Gudeng Precision Industrial, and they're in Taiwan.
They're kind of a hidden champion
They are. They really are.
in the semiconductor world.
Yeah. And their journey is fascinating.
It
They
is.
started off making plastic mold processing stuff.
Like, imagine that, right? Pivoting from that
Yeah.
to
What made them do that? What happened?
yeah, it was in 2000 they went into semiconductor equipment and parts.
Okay.
And their claim to fame are these things called photomask carriers. You ever heard of those?
I have not.
So imagine like a high-tech treasure chest
Okay.
that protects the blueprints for making microchips.
Oh, wow.
So these aren't just any old containers.
No.
These are really important for the most advanced chips, especially for a process called EUV lithography.
EUV litho.
Yeah, think of it like the highest resolution printer imaginable, creating those tiny, powerful brains of all our devices.
I see. So you're saying that if Gudeng doesn't make these precise photomask carriers, companies like TSMC can't make the chips that power our smartphones and our computers.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. They have an 85% market share.
85%.
For the most advanced type of these carriers, the EUV photomask pods.
Wow.
They are the dominant force.
They're like the kings of the EUV photomask pods.
Pretty much.
Wow.
And they also make these wafer carriers, which are like special trays
Okay.
that protect silicon wafers during the chip manufacturing process.
Oh, so they've got their fingers in a few different parts of this chip making process.
They do.
So how are they doing financially?
Well, it's been kind of a roller coaster. Their first quarter 2024 results showed a dip in profits.
Okay, how come?
The semiconductor industry slowed down a bit, plus they invested a lot in R&D, research and development.
Oh, okay.
But then April happened, their revenue just exploded.
April happened.
It did. It went up by 76%.
Compared to the year before.
The year before, yeah.
That's incredible.
Isn't that something?
But what about inventory? Are they just sitting on a ton of unsold products?
That's what's interesting. Their inventory turnover ratio is right in line with the past 5 years.
So what's the inventory turnover ratio?
So that means basically they're selling what they're making at a good pace.
I see. So there's no warehouse somewhere full of photomask carriers?
Nope, no dusty photomask carriers.
That's a good sign.
It is a good sign of a healthy business. And speaking of healthy, the global photomask carrier market
Right?
is projected to be worth over $3 billion by 2031.
Wow.
And that's with a steady growth rate of like 5.7% a year.
Yeah.
And Gudeng, with its massive market share, is right there to capture that growth.
They're in the right place at the right time.
Exactly.
And they're the biggest player.
They are.
Wow, that's amazing. And remember TSMC, the chip-making giant?
Oh, yeah.
They've been big on this EUV technology.
Yeah.
Who do you think supplies them with those EUV photomask pods?
You already know.
They're steering the ship. They're not just riding the wave.
They're the captain
Exactly.
of the EUV photomask pod ship.
Laughs, and their profit margins are incredible, 40, 50%.
Yeah.
So it seems like specializing in these high-tech products that are in demand, that's the winning formula.
It seems to be.
It really does, and I
Yeah.
think a lot of that can be attributed to their chairman, Bill Chiu.
Right, Bill Chiu.
He seems like quite a character.
Oh, yeah, he's got a real vision. He saw the potential of EUV technology and 18-inch wafers way before other people did.
18-inch wafers. What are we talking? Like pizza-sized wafers here.
More like extra large pizza.
Extra large. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So they're big.
They're huge.
That's amazing.
It is.
Wow, so he was an early adopter.
Yeah, early investor, not afraid to take risks, although that wafer project didn't pan out quite as planned.
Oh, really?
But his gamble on EUV, well, you see how that turned out.
Yeah, it paid off.
It paid off big time.
Big time.
He really had that long-term vision.
Wow, so he's a risk taker. But there must be more to him than just taking risks.
Oh, yeah. He's not just about gambling. He really believes in empowering his team.
Oh, okay.
Delegating responsibility. He focuses on the big picture stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Strategy, key decisions, and nurturing talent.
Right.
He's not a micromanager.
So that probably frees him up to do all his other stuff.
Like restoring vintage motorcycles.
He restores vintage motorcycles.
Yeah, and climbing mountains.
What?
Yeah, he even has licenses to drive heavy machinery.
Wow, this guy is like, he's living life to the fullest.
He is. Loves a challenge.
Yeah,
In business and in life.
I like it. But speaking of challenges,
Yeah.
wasn't there this crazy story about a patent lawsuit that almost took down Gudeng?
Oh, yeah. Back in 2015, that was a close one.
What happened?
They got hit with this massive lawsuit from a U.S. competitor, and they had to scramble to come up with almost $1 billion in like a month.
$1 billion in a month.
To avoid being shut down. Oh, my goodness. How did they do that?
Well, Bill Chiu, he's a fighter.
Yeah.
He rallied support from TSMC.
Oh, smart move.
Right. And eventually they settled the lawsuit.
Thank goodness.
But he emerged from that, even stronger,
I bet.
with a much deeper understanding of patents and intellectual property.
That was quite a trial by fire.
It was a real test of his leadership.
It really was, but you know what? It seems like he came out on top and is even more determined to succeed.
Yeah.
So we've got this amazing company that's dominating its niche, a visionary leader at the helm, and a market that's poised for explosive growth.
It's like the perfect storm.
Exactly. So Gudeng is definitely a company to keep an eye on, wouldn't you say?
Oh, without a doubt. They are a shining example of what happens when you combine technical brilliance with a really smart business strategy.
And a fearless leader.
And a fearless leader.
That's Bill Chiu.
That's Bill Chiu.
And speaking of fearless leaders, you know our friend Steve.
Steve.
The executive director of the Arizona-Taiwan office. Oh, yeah, I know Steve.
He thinks Gudeng has huge potential in the U.S.
Laughs. Does he now?
He does, so maybe big things are on the horizon.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
It'll be really interesting to see what they do next.
It will. They've already accomplished so much in such a short time.
It's really exciting.
It is. It is.
To see what they do next.
To think about their future.
Absolutely. And on that note, I think we should take a quick break, and then we'll be right back to dive deeper into the world of Gudeng Precision Industrial.
Sounds good.
So it's really quite amazing how Gudeng went from this, plastic molding company to this, super crucial player in the semiconductor world.
It really is. It's only been a couple decades, really, since they made that jump.
That's wild. So how did they manage to climb the ranks so quickly?
Well, timing plays a huge part.
Timing, okay.
I mean, they got into the game just as EUV technology was starting to, emerge.
I see.
And they went all in on it.
So it was a little bit of right place, right time.
A bit, but also, you don't build a multi-billion-dollar company just by being lucky, right?
Of course not. Of course not.
There's got to be more to it.
Yeah.
They were really strategic with their investments.
Oh, how so?
Well, remember that little dip in profits in the first quarter that we talked about?
Yeah.
That was partly because they, really doubled down on research and development.
I see.
So you were playing the long game?
So they were willing to sacrifice those short-term gains for long-term market dominance.
Exactly.
That's gutsy.
It is.
Especially in such a, volatile industry.
Yeah, but it seems like it paid off.
It did, yeah.
While other companies were, kind of hesitant, Gudeng was busy establishing themselves as, the supplier for these EUV photomask pods.
Smart move.
It was.
But it's not all about tech, is it? I mean, relationships matter too, right?
Totally. Relationships are huge in this industry.
Yeah.
I mean, remember how Bill Chiu was able to get TSMC to back them during that patent lawsuit?
Yeah, that was crucial.
So it's a really tightly knit ecosystem.
Yeah.
And Gudeng did a great job of cultivating those partnerships.
Especially with TSMC.
Especially with TSMC. I mean, they're the world's biggest contract chip maker.
They are. Like the Beyonce of chip manufacturing.
Right. Everybody wants to work with them.
Exactly.
They're making chips for Apple and Qualcomm and NVIDIA.
Practically everyone.
Yeah, all the big players.
I like that, the Beyonce of chip manufacturing.
Yeah, it fits.
It really does. And that relationship with TSMC, it's totally mutually beneficial, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because they rely on Gudeng for the photomask pods.
Right.
And Gudeng benefits from having this super powerful and reliable partner.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
A very profitable partner too.
Yeah.
Those 40–50% profit margins are just amazing.
It really makes you wonder, are they doing something radically different to command such a high price?
I know. It's what's their secret?
Well, part of it is their specialization,
Yeah.
They've really carved out this niche in a high-demand, high-tech market.
So, they're not trying to be everything to everyone.
No, they're focused.
They're focused.
They found what they're good at.
I see.
It's like finding this, really rare, valuable gem.
Okay.
And being the only one who knows how to cut and polish it.
I like that. That's a great analogy.
They've really mastered their craft.
Yeah. Yeah, they have. And, one thing that really stood out to me when I was researching Gudeng was their focus on sustainability.
Oh, yeah.
It's not something you see very often in, high-tech manufacturing.
It's true, but, it's becoming more and more important these days,
It is, yeah,
especially in the tech world where there's a lot of focus on, resource consumption and environmental impact and all that.
definitely.
And Gudeng seems to be, like, ahead of the curve.
Yeah, they have a whole bunch of initiatives in place, like reducing their carbon footprint, conserving water, promoting recycling.
That's impressive.
They're even RBA Platinum certified. Did you know that?
Oh, wow.
Which is a really big deal.
It is, yeah.
In terms of responsible business practices.
They're proving that you can be successful and environmentally conscious.
Right, you don't have to sacrifice one for the other.
Nope, not at all.
And that's something that investors are really starting to pay attention to, right?
Totally. Those ESG factors are becoming super important.
ESG.
Yeah, environmental, social, and governance.
Right, right.
It's not just a feel-good thing anymore. It's a smart business strategy.
It really is.
And Gudeng gets it.
They do.
They're showing that you can be profitable and responsible
At the same time.
at the same time.
Exactly. So they're leading by example.
They are.
It makes me wonder, like, what other innovations do they have up their sleeve? What's next for Gudeng?
Well, one thing they're focusing on is expanding their wafer carrier business.
Oh, right, right.
Remember we talked about how they're supplying those to several semiconductor manufacturers in China?
Yeah, and the Chinese semiconductor market is supposed to, like, grow significantly in the next few years.
Oh, yeah. It's supposed to grow by over 6% annually.
That's huge.
It is. It's a massive market.
So it seems like a pretty savvy move.
It does.
But expanding into China, it's not without its challenges, is it?
It's not. No, especially with all the, geopolitical stuff happening right now.
Yeah, and all the talk about, decoupling and supply chain diversification.
It's a complicated landscape.
It is.
But Gudeng seems to be approaching it cautiously, strategically.
They've definitely shown they can handle a crisis or two. I mean, remember that patent lawsuit?
Oh, yeah. That was a defining moment for them.
It was, yeah.
I mean, they were staring down this, billion-dollar threat.
Yeah.
And they came out on top.
It's incredible.
It is. It shows their resilience,
Their determination.
Yeah, their ability to problem solve under pressure.
And that, I think, speaks volumes about Bill Chiu's leadership.
Totally.
He didn't panic. He didn't fold.
No?
He found a way to turn what could have been a total catastrophe into a, defining moment for the company.
It's a real lesson in leadership.
Yeah. Yeah. When I think about it, I'm like, wow, this guy, he's cool under pressure.
Yeah.
It's inspiring
It is.
to see how he led them through that.
It really is.
And that same spirit, it seems like it kind of, permeates the whole company,
Yeah, it's not just about one person.
It's a whole team effort.
A team of people who are passionate about what they do.
And they want to be the best.
And they want to be the best.
Exactly.
They're constantly innovating, setting new standards, pushing the boundaries,
It's pretty inspiring, honestly.
It is.
They're a testament to the power of innovation and hard work and, a little bit of fearlessness, too, right?
Absolutely.
And they're not afraid to embrace sustainability, which I think is amazing.
Yeah, that's a big plus.
It
It's
is?
their model for other companies.
Yeah.
Showing that you can do well by doing good.
Exactly. They've come a long way from their plastic molding days.
They have. What a transformation.
It is. It makes you wonder, what was someone like Bill Chiu, who's so clearly driven by challenge, what would he focus on next?
Well, maybe our friend Steve has some insight into that.
Steve.
Yeah, I remember he was saying that Gudeng has a lot of potential in the U.S. market.
Laugh, Steve. Always with the eagle eye for opportunity.
He's always looking for the next big thing.
He is. You think he's onto something.
Well, considering Gudeng's track record and Bill Chiu's, ambition, I wouldn't bet against them.
Laughs. Good point. Good point. But, even without venturing into the U.S., they've already accomplished so much.
It's true, they have.
It's pretty incredible to see how far they've come.
It really is. It shows that with, the right vision, strategic planning, and a whole lot of hard work, a company can overcome almost any obstacle.
That's true. That's true. I wonder, what would Bill Chiu say is the secret to Gudeng's success?
Oh, I bet he'd say it's the people.
The people, yeah.
Their dedication, their ingenuity, their willingness to embrace those challenges. I think that's what's made Gudeng the powerhouse it is today.
Yeah, it's a team effort.
It is.
And they've definitely got a winning formula.
They're not resting on their laurels, though, that's for sure.
No, no.
They're constantly innovating, evolving, looking for ways to improve.
That's the mark of a truly great company.
It is.
And it's been really fascinating getting this inside look at their journey.
It has.
It's a story of transformation and resilience and, bold ambition.
Absolutely. They've gone from relative obscurity to, a major player in the global semiconductor industry.
It's really remarkable.
It is. It's a real testament to the power of vision and, determination and maybe a little bit of luck along the way, too.
A little bit of luck never hurts.
It never hurts.
Laughs. Maybe we should ask Steve if he's got any stock tips on Gudeng.
Laughs, good luck getting that out of him.
I know, but hey, we can always dream.
We can always dream.
And on that note, I think this has been a fantastic exploration of Gudeng Precision Industrial.
I agree.
They're really defying expectations, I think.
They are.
And they're really shaping the future of technology.
I couldn't agree more.
I'm sure our listeners are just as fascinated by their story as we are.
I hope so.
I'm sure they are. And if you're interested in learning more about Gudeng, we encourage you to check out their website and follow their progress.
Yeah, they're definitely a company to keep your eye on.
Absolutely. They're proof that innovation and determination and a little bit of that fearlessness can really take you far.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
It's really mind-blowing when you think about it.
What's that?
How Gudeng has not only survived, but thrived
Right.
in such a fiercely competitive industry.
Yeah, the semiconductor world.
It's cutthroat.
It is. It's like a constant race.
It is.
Pushing the boundaries of what's possible,
Yeah, and they got to be so innovative
You have to be.
and so agile to just stay ahead of the game.
Oh, for sure.
But Gudeng, it seems like they figured it out.
They have. They're not afraid to take risks either.
No, they're not.
Like calculated risks, obviously.
Yeah, like that early investment in EUV
Exactly.
when nobody else was really paying attention to it.
And they're always adapting, to the market.
Yeah, they are. They're on top of it.
Always changing.
They are.
It's all about having that vision,
It is.
seeing where the industry is going,
Yeah.
and then having the guts to make those bold decisions.
Yeah, I think Bill Chiu really embodies that.
He does.
Does he?
Yeah, he's got that, sixth sense,
He does. He seems to spot opportunities
For sure.
that other people just completely miss.
Left and right.
And he's not just some CEO who sits behind a desk all day.
Oh, no.
Remember we were talking about his passion for, restoring motorcycles,
Oh, yeah.
climbing mountains?
And getting licenses to operate heavy machinery.
This guy's a character.
He's not your typical CEO, that's for sure.
He's not. Maybe that's his secret.
Maybe.
That drive,
Yeah.
that constant need for new challenges.
Yeah, for pushing himself, whether it's in his personal life
Yeah.
or in the business world.
He's taking those lessons he's learned,
I think so.
from those adventures
Yeah,
and applying them to Gudeng.
it's a really good point.
Think about it.
Yeah,
The perseverance you need to, climb a mountain,
right.
or the problem-solving skills to, fix a vintage motorcycle engine.
Yeah,
Those are the same qualities that help you navigate, tough business situations.
exactly. Like that patent lawsuit.
Oh, yeah.
Most people would just, completely freak out
Oh, absolutely.
if they were facing a billion-dollar lawsuit.
Yeah, panic.
But he faced it head on
You did.
and turned it into a victory.
That's resilience.
It is, and it's such a good lesson for
Oh,
anybody in business, really.
It really is.
Just you got to keep going.
Keep fighting.
Keep fighting, yeah. And he didn't just survive that experience. No, he learned from it.
He learned from it. He came out stronger.
Stronger, better.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And you can see that same spirit in the whole company,
I do. Yeah.
It's not just him.
It's not just him. No.
It's a whole team.
It's the whole team.
People who are passionate about their work.
Yeah,
They want to be the best.
they do.
They're constantly innovating, setting the bar higher,
Yeah, they're pushing the boundaries of what's possible in the semiconductor world.
They're an inspiration
They really are.
to other companies.
Yeah, they're a reminder that, success
Yeah.
comes from hard work and dedication.
And a little bit of, that daring attitude.
A little bit of daring. You got to take some risks.
Yeah. Calculated ones.
Yeah, and they're not afraid to embrace sustainability, which I love.
That's huge these days.
It is. It is.
It's a big deal.
It's a really good model for other companies to follow, I think,
I think so too.
showing that you can be successful and responsible.
You don't have to choose.
You don't have to choose. Exactly.
Have your cake and eat it too.
Exactly. And they've come such a long way.
They have from those.
Those plastic molding days.
What a transformation.
It is. It really is. Speaking of, taking risks and being daring. Remember our friend Steve,
Steve. Oh,
the
yeah.
executive director
Yeah.
of the Arizona-Taiwan office.
What about him?
He's convinced that Gudeng has a bright future here in the U.S.
Oh.
It'll be fascinating to see how this all plays out.
It will.
Who knows what other surprises they have up their sleeve?
Who knows? But one thing's for sure.
What's that?
Gudeng is on the rise.
Yeah.
They're not stopping anytime soon.
Not even close.
They're proof that you can achieve incredible things
You can.
with innovation, determination, and a little bit of,
Fearlessness.
fearlessness. Yeah.
I love it.
It's been a real pleasure, learning about Gudeng.
It has. It's been so interesting.
Fascinating company.
It is. And I think they're really an inspiration
I think so too.
to a lot of people.
To a lot of companies.
Yeah, especially other entrepreneurs and innovators.
For sure.
It's amazing what they've been able to accomplish.
Absolutely.
So for our listeners who are as captivated by Gudeng's story as we are, we encourage you to go learn more about this incredible company.
Yeah, their journey's not over.
Not even close.
We can't wait to see what they do next.
Me neither. And on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this episode of the Bird Business Channel.
It's been fun.
It has. We've had a blast exploring the world of Gudeng Precision Industrial.
They're an amazing company.
They are defying expectations, pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Thank you for listening to the Board Business Channel.
Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications.
We'll see you next time.